right, friends, thank you so much for staying, for joining, for being here tonight. It's a hot one, so I'll just encourage you to drink water whenever you feel you want to. This is our chill yoga, and this is one of my very most favorite ways to practice. And sometimes there's sort of this coaxing in of your attention that kind of needs to happen after a long day. So let's just see if we can take sort of this silent vow that we're going to be real patient, real kind, compassionate, gentle with yourself just in these first few moments. Okay? If you feel that your mind is particularly busy, there's a lot going on around us right now, and sometimes we don't know how those things, circumstances are affecting us until we really do take that time to slow down. So I just want to give you guys an opportunity here to do just that, to slow down, to make friends with your nervous system in a parasympathetic sense. So that's our rest and digest. It's the coming down, our working away from the stress response. Okay, so let's just start with an easy breath in and a slow breath out. Continue taking those rounds of breath just in a slow and purposeful manner. When I mentioned at the start, you making friends with whatever it is that is on your mind, if you think of a really good, solid, caring friend that you've known for a really long time, sometimes there can still be sort of that push and pull with them, right? They know you well, perhaps have been through a lot together, the highs and lows. So just know that friendship that you want to create right here and now, and sort of that uncovering of anything that may be just sitting below the surface, just be real patient with it. Take your time, slow it down. You don't have to figure anything out. You don't have to make sense of anything quite yet. Sort of allowing some space and time. And then see if there's anywhere that you can relax further, even if it's 5% further. Maybe some tension in your middle, perhaps the rib cage. Maybe tension across the chest or the shoulders, your jaw, the forehead. See if you can soften up some of those areas a little bit more. Go ahead and take another good long breath in and a long breath out. I want to share just a little something with you before we get moving. I'm reading a book right now called Untamed. Some of you perhaps have read it or you know of it. And yesterday I read through one of the chapters that was titled Be Still and Know. And the author speaks a little bit about how she was leading her life in a very inauthentic way, and nothing was really feeling quite smooth and wasn't really feeling in alignment with what it was that she really wanted. So she was like, okay, I need to start taking charge of what it is that I really want. So every day she'd send her family out of the house, off to work and to school to do the things. And she would sit in her closet and sit still for 10 minutes. And she would just allow a lot of the things above the surface, we'll call it noise, to just come and go, with hopes of her paying more close attention to that deep inner world that she knew was there but didn't quite know how to access. And so this came through, be still and know. And as women, there's a lot of external pressures, there's lots of ideals that have been passed on through generations about what it means to be a good woman, a wife, a mother, etc., etc., etc. So we'll just leave those as some of that noise and just see if today, this time that you've given yourself, that you carve out of your day to climb down a little deeper into yourself, into that inner world where you can be still and know. And it's one of those things that may be easier said than done. We all have this well of wisdom inside of us that perhaps has been silenced due to a whole plethora of reasons. But if we were really to sit with that inner knowing and to act from that place, that we know exactly what it is that we need in our life, that we want to work towards, to experience. And I don't know about you guys, but I want to live in a world and be around people who are just really operating from that spot. They're being brave and choosing themselves, choosing that they know best, not somebody else. Okay, so let's just take a slow, soft, sweet breath in and an easy breath out. And start to bring your right knee in towards you. You lace your fingers on your shin or your knee. Feel free to find some movement, a little side to side. That's it. And then once you've found like a little sweet spot that feels really good to just pause in, feel free to do that. Just pause. And recognize that as your own knowing. Right? You'll know what feels best on the inside of your body, and to really act on that. And sometimes action is just stillness, really. So be patient, go slow, keep the breath moving through you. And take your right knee across your body to the left for spinal twist. Straighten your right leg as much as you can out towards the left, and just find that spot on the grass where your foot can relax, but that your knee is straight. And you flex your toes towards you, push your heel away from the hip, and then just move the breath around in your lungs. And then try and use that energy from the breath to work through any excess tension in the outer hip, even down towards your outer right knee. These last few breaths, you can slide your right leg a little bit higher, closer towards you. You might increase the sensation on the outer right hip. And if you've come a little too far, no problem. Just adjust your leg as you need. ahead and bend your right knee. Smooth and steady, come back through center. And give your knee a good hug into you. And then slide your right leg out onto your mat. A little bit of movement side to side. You can flop your foot around a little right and left. And then bring your left knee in to your body. You find that good, comfortable grip that just feels right. And each one of you is going to have your own experience over our time together tonight. Just ask that you keep your ears and your mind kind of wide open and allow the words, perhaps the ideas, to be fed through your own filters. Each of us has our own sort of unique set of filters and things that we've learned, things that we've been taught, things that we've sort of accumulated along the way, our time on the planet. And if we learn to not, hold on super tight, like gripping, grasping on some of those things, some of our ideals, some of the things that we've learned over time, we can kind of loosen our grip on some of them if they're no longer serving us now. Okay, and take your left knee across your body to the right. Straighten your left leg out as much as you can and just set your foot on the grass. Keep the breath moving deep down into your lungs and all the way out into the space around you. And some of you know the anatomy of the lungs well. And there's these little tiny bubbles almost at the end of the branches of our lungs. They're called the alveoli, and it's really where the oxygen is exchanged in our blood. And that's how when we breathe in, we can feed it into our body and our bloodstream that way. So in the bottom part of the lungs, if they don't always get those good deep breaths down, as we age, some of those alveoli start to die off because they're not used. So if you can trust that when you really bring the breath down into the lower part of the lungs, not only are you feeding some of those places that aren't always touched with our regular breath, sort of that expansion, right? We're expanding that tissue. We can also sort of see that in a mirror of expanding the tissue of our brains. Right? Like when we learn something new, when we try to do something a new way, when we listen more intently. So we can just take these inner knowings and see them in our life, different places as well. And then go real slow, bend up your left knee and come on up through to center. Give your knee a good squeeze in, and then lengthen your left leg out to meet the right. Reach your arms overhead and lace the fingers. You flip your palms out away from you and stretch as long as you can. Your arms, your side body, your legs all the way down to your toes. And roll through your left side and come on over to child's pose. Knees a good comfortable distance apart, big toes beside one another. And then allow your forehead to just settle down, arms relax, and shoulders soften. relax the weight of your head down into the earth beneath your mat. And you appreciate this moment right here without any holding on tight to any moment before this one, and without reaching forward into any future moments. Okay, go ahead, take a deep breath in and a long breath out. And come forward to tabletop position, hands and knees. Tuck your toes and then go ahead and reach your right arm up towards the sky. You look to your right fingers, long breath in, and then reach your right arm underneath the left side and just hover your head and shoulder towards the mat. Okay, big breath in, we're gonna reach your right arm high, and then reach underneath, exhale. Up and open, big breath, and reach under. And one more time, we open up. And as you reach under, try and reach as far to the left as you can, so the outer shoulder touches down and your right ear comes to the mat. You can tent the fingers of your left hand, just perhaps in front of your face, or take your left hand behind you to your low back on the right. Those of you with your left hand to the low back, go ahead and plant the hand on the grass wide of the mat. Come back through tabletop. Reset the knees. You can tuck the toes once again if you untuck them. Lift your left arm up towards the sky. Look up, big breath. And then reach your fingertips towards the right. Come to a hover. Up and open, big breath. Long wingspan. And then underneath, exhale. Just see if you can notice a difference here. We open up, we might not rotate as well this way, and that's okay. Up and open, breathe in. And this time as you reach under, reach as far as you can to the right. The outer shoulder comes down and your left ear touches to the mat. And you can tent the right fingers or take your right hand to your low back on the left. If you feel like you need to adjust your head at all, sometimes it can make a big difference to just turn your head a little bit more so you're really on the whole entirety of your ear. That's it. Go ahead and release your right hand down, press down, and come back up through tabletop. Cow pose. You look up and really hang the hammock down like a belly. Your belly down like a hammock rather. And then round in, big exhale. Okay, same thing. Look up, tip the sitting bones up, and then round in, exhale. Okay, breathe in. Chest comes through the shoulders as best you can, head high. And then chin down, exhale. 2 more, just like that. Breathe in, fingers spread wide. And round in, exhale. Inhale, we look forward and up, chin lifts. And round in, exhale. Tuck the toes, lift your hips, take down dog. And then notice what this downward dog feels like in your body with grass literally beneath the mat. Okay, sometimes the surface beneath your mat can really give you an interesting connection to your hands and feet, your body, right here. Okay, so let your head be heavy. Sink your heels down just behind the big toe mound. And then can you find that smooth, even breath? Okay, smooth in and out, and even in pace and depth. Take 2 more rounds of breath here. And 1 more round. And then look to your hands and bring them a little closer towards one another. Thumbs are side by side. And then step your right foot through to your right wrist and tuck the left knee down with your toes untucked. Okay, now from here you're going to keep your right knee hugging in towards the right shoulder and just allow the hips to pull forward and down towards your right heel. You might allow the head to come down. You might like to keep the chin lifted slightly. See if you can keep your arms long and your knee hugging into the outer shoulder. Last breath here. Keep the pressure of the palms. You're going to tuck your left toes, lift the left knee. You're going to take your right leg up and back for 3-legged dog. Big stretch. And then step your right foot halfway down your mat for pyramid pose. You're going to tuck your left heel down, straighten your legs, and just walk your hands up towards your right shin, or know that you can have tented fingers down into the mat if you like. Okay, plug down through your feet. You might even lift the toes and see if you can pull your right hip back, left hip forward. Now see if you can flex the quadriceps. So we pick up the kneecap slightly. The legs are straight and strong, and then from there again we pull the right hip back. And then halfway lift with your spine, look forward just ahead of the mat, breathe in. And then fold, nose towards the right knee, exhale. Okay, halfway lift, inhale, legs are still strong. And fold and exhale. One more time, just like that, big breath in, long spine. Fold into your right leg, exhale. You stay here, take one good breath here. And let it go. Okay, little bend to your right knee. Plant your hands. Take your left foot further back to the back of the mat. Lift your right leg up and back for 3-legged dog. Okay, and then step your right foot outside your right wrist, nice and wide this time. Okay, left knee comes down, left toes untucked, and then heel toe your right foot a bit more to the right. And bring your right palm just on the inside of your right knee. Okay, so we find this little twist, as well as some more opening through the front of the hips, your groin. And you can finish the rotation too if you like to look up past your right shoulder. Last breath here. Okay, bring your right hand back down. Tuck your left toes, lift your left knee, and we step back, down dog. Okay, breathe in here. And breathe out. Okay, bring your hands a little back closer together. And step your left foot outside your left wrist. Right knee comes down, right toes untucked. And let me just keep the palms flat down if you can. And your left knee hugs towards the left shoulder. Allow the hips to sink forward and down. And then you could let the head come down nice and low, or you could keep your chin up a bit if that feels better. That's it. And keep the left knee hugging in towards the shoulder. Just notice the tendency that the knee will want to fall open. Last good breath in and out. All right, tuck the right toes, lift your right knee. Now plant the hands good and strong and lift your left leg up and back, three-legged dog. And step your left foot about halfway down the mat. Right heel pivots down and your legs go towards straight. And your hands can either tent on the mat or palms can come up towards the left shin. So we plug your feet down, lift the toes, and then just easy set them down. Pull the left hip back and right hip forward. Okay, this sets the pelvis so we're good and strong in our alignment with the legs. And then flex your kneecaps and really hug the quadriceps good and strong. And sometimes the legs will want to relax, okay? Especially if your legs are a little tired today, yeah? Yeah. Flex your quads and then really bow forward over the legs. Take a halfway lift, breathe in, long spine. We look just ahead of the mat. Fold in, big exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold in, left hip back. And halfway lift, breathe in. Fold and exhale. Okay, pause here, quads are still strong, breathe in. And breathe out. Okay, plant your hands. Take your right foot further back. Lift your left leg up and back for three-legged dog. Left foot steps outside your left wrist, nice and wide this time. Your right knee goes down, right toes untucked. And then left hand to the inside of your left knee. Little pressure out, just allowing the hips to come forward towards your left heel. Even angle the toes out a little more as well. That's it. Feel free to finish the twist through the upper spine. You can look over the left shoulder. And last breath in. All right, we plant the left hand. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee, and we step back, down dog. Take a long breath in here, and a long breath out. And bring your knees to your mat. Roll around onto your back, and you can go head to face my way. Come to lay out and just hug your knees in, little squeeze. And then set your left foot flat down on the floor with your knee bent and lengthen your right leg up towards the sky. If you look at your right leg, try and line the bones of your right leg up with your right hip. And so sometimes your leg will want to come into the midline or go out wide. Just do your best to find one straight line out from the hip, out your heel. And then you can lace your fingers a little higher if you wish, perhaps on the calf, or just behind your leg is great. Find a little ankle circle with your right one way and then the other. Yeah, and then point and flex your foot straight through center a couple times as well. And then see if you can walk your hands up a little higher towards your ankle. Lift your head and shoulders up off the mat. Good, and then flex your toes one time down towards you. That's it. Heel high and really big stretch to the back of your leg. That's it. And then bend your right knee, cross your right ankle over left thigh for thread the needle. And bring your legs towards you as you take your time. And then you might even like to roll your legs a little bit over to the left. And just find that little sweet spot in the outer right hip. Breathe deep. Relax your left toes. Soften up the left knee, your left lower leg. Keep your legs in this shape and set your left foot flat down on your mat again. Allow your knees to fall to the left and see if you can find that spot on the grass where your right foot settles down. You might like to have your left hand on the front of your right ankle. Just keep your foot nice and close towards you. That's it. Breeze on your skin and the breath moving through you in this relaxed state. And smooth and steady. Use your core. Just bring your legs up through center, but keep them in this shape. Okay, and then listen close. Bring your right knee into your chest once again. And then we go to half happy baby on the right side. So you take your right hand to the outside of your right foot. And then allow your left knee to fall to the left for half butterfly. Okay, so you might like to adjust your left foot slightly out so that your knee can relax open. Beautiful, that's it. And then you can take your right knee maybe a little bit wider away from the left. Bit of movement if you wish. Or stillness, your choice. Keep your right hand where it is. Slowly lengthen your left leg out onto the mat and think out wide towards the left bottom corner of your mat. That's it. Okay, and then easy, let go of right foot. Smoothly lower your right leg out to the bottom right corner of your mat and pause. Okay, big belly breath in and a big sigh out. One more, just like that. Breathe in and breathe out. Bend your right knee and set your right foot flat on the mat. Bring your left knee in towards you and extend your left heel up towards the sky. Okay, so once again, we find that alignment with your left leg bones in line with your left hip. Okay, as best you can. And little ankle circles to the left and the right with your left foot. Good, and then point and flex your foot a couple times, straight up and straight down. Notice when you flex your toes down, you can really push the heel high and work into some new space in the back of your left leg. And then take your grip a little higher up towards the calf or your ankle. Lift your head and shoulders up off the mat. Push your heel up nice and high. Flex your toes towards you. Okay, a little bigger sensation on the back of the left leg. That's it. Deep breath in. And then bend your left knee and cross your left ankle over your right thigh for thread the needle. Okay, and then bring your knees towards you. Switch your grip over. And then you might like that little roll of your legs towards the right. Just finding something new to breathe through on the outer left hip. Notice what you feel. Okay, notice how perhaps is a little different on this side. One more good juicy breath in. And keep your legs in this shape. As you exhale, set your right foot flat down. And let your knees fall over to the right. And set your left foot on the grass along the way. You might like to have your right hand on the front of your ankle on the left. Sometimes can just feel quite grounding to hang on right there, and then just allow your left arm to fall back and open to the left. And you might notice how the mind might start to get a little busy. Maybe you still feel quite relaxed, but some of those lists might come back in. And this is always just such a great opportunity for you to refocus your attention. Okay, refocus on what you're doing right here and now. And use your core, right? Brace through center and bring your knees up to the middle in the same shape. So keep your right foot flat down and hug your left knee in towards the chest. And we'll go to half happy baby on the left side. Good, and then from here, allow your right knee to open to the right into half butterfly. And again, if you like to adjust your foot, I always love to just find that similar yet different kind of position to really serve one side or the other of the body. It's really normal to have asymmetries with both sides in your body, so just take your time. Keep your left hand on your left foot and slowly lengthen your right leg out to the bottom right corner of your mat. Good, and then mindfully let go of your foot. Slide your left leg out to the bottom left corner of the mat. Allow yourself to land. Take a deep inhale. And a nice sigh out. Let it go. And again, breathe in. And breathe out. One more time. Inhale, nice and slow. And a smooth exhale. And then bring your right hand to your belly and your left hand to your heart. Allow the bottoms of your feet to touch and let your knees glide open wide. You might like to push through your feet and tuck your tailbone underneath you. Notice the inner landscape in your mind, your body. Notice any shift in your energy. If it felt quite high or even quite low before, just notice where the shift or the change may be. If there's any less tension across your face, your shoulders. Stretch your legs out onto the mat. Feel free to take up a good amount of space. So maybe your heels extend off the bottom edges of your yoga mat. Another opportunity for you to be still and know. Had some great opportunities to be in your body in different shapes, twists, hip openers. And we come back to this pose right here, Shavasana, to be still and know. Any of the teachers that have come into my life have been such incredible reminders that really any yoga practice is just a simple remembering. Oftentimes the things that come to us in our mind, our heart, sort of like that deep down space inside of us is just really a remembering. Okay? It's always been there. It's just sometimes it can get a little bit cloudy. You can just forget momentarily. So we remember. Be still and know. And take a soft breath in where you are. And an easy sigh out. And then to close practice, we're just going to work through a little breath technique where we start with a count of 4 for the inhale and the exhale, and then we add a count with each round. Okay, so just see if you can keep your ears open, allow the breath to just keep coming in and keep the brain relaxed. Sometimes the brain really wants to get in, sort of involve itself a bit in this one. Just see if you can trust in the breath. Take a smooth inhale and a clearing exhale. And we inhale for a count of 4. 3, 2, 1. Little hold at the top. And exhale for 4. 3, 2, 1. Fully empty. And inhale for a count of 5. 4, 3, 2, 1. Little hold. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Little hold. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fully empty. An option to go one more count all the way up to 8 on your own. And fully empty at the bottom. Take a regular breath in. And a smooth breath out. Let it go. One more time, just like that. Regular breath in. And exhale. Relax your body deep down into your mat. No control over your breath. And just allow stillness to visit us. Allow that deep knowing to come through. bring all of your attention back inside your body. And breathe in a good long breath. And exhale it away. And one more breath just like that. Good long inhale. And exhale. And oftentimes, the things that we learn in our yoga practice or the time that we spend on our mat don't always go off in a light bulb fashion the moment that your time ends. So see if you can just stay open in your mind and your heart for the days to come. And do things that nourish you, that allow you to have some time and peace with yourself. To just simply remember. Just remember the things that you may have forgotten. To get still. And to be still and know. Namaste.